Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is going to be my 2018 journal flip through video. I went through two journals, well sort of. I did like 9 months in this one and only went through December with this one. So there are a lot of blank pages in the second, but I'll explain why I chose to move on to a new journal later. But for 2018, I started off with the Leuchtturm 1917 journal, and it was really good. The only thing that I will say about it, like, you can tell it got really, well, maybe you can tell, I don't know, it got really like janky throughout the year. It looked really dirty and scuffed up, and so I didn't like that as much. It didn't keep its pristine look that it had when I initially got it, and the pages were a little bit thin for my liking. I will say that they were coated, so when I used watercolor in here, though it was very rare and I didn't do a great job, it did handle the water pretty well. The pages did get crinkly, but I mean, that happens when you're not using watercolor paper, but I liked it pretty good. But whenever I was finished, I wanted to try something new, so I switched to the Scribbles That Matter journal, and I do have a first impression on my channel of this journal showing like pen tests and all of that, so you can go check that out if you want to see more of my opinion on this. But comparatively, this has a thicker cover, which I liked. The cover stayed in better condition even though it was white. I was really impressed. The only major thing that happened to it was this here, and my nephew drew that on there, my nephew Henry, and he told me he drew me a pretty picture, and so I just can't take it off, so that will be on there forever. But anyway, these are the two journals I use, so let's go ahead and get into the actual flip through. So starting off, this first page, man, I just kind of ended up using it as a scrap page, like figuring out what colors I wanted to use and cleaning off my Tombow blender marker, as a lot of these marks here. So I think at one point I had a recipe written down on it, and like I erased that, or maybe that was this back page, I don't know, but it was for spicy sausage pasta, which is amazing. But yeah, that just kind of turned into like a swatch page. That was really ugly, but it's fine. Didn't really use my index much in this journal. I didn't really see the point of it whenever I was doing this. This was my first bullet journal, by the way. I really had no clue what I was doing, and this is all kind of a massive experiment to figure out what works and what doesn't work for me. So that's why this journal is so sloppy. I mean, all my journals might look sloppy to you, I don't know, but I was experimenting a lot in this to try to figure out what worked. Let me zoom you in just a little bit here. There we go. Let's zoom out just okay, there we go. Still trying to figure out this camera thing. Okay, so moving on. This is my 2018 cover page. Very simple. This is my future log. I spent like 8,000 years drawing this up top because I saw it on Pinterest, and I spent so much time figuring out like the exact measurements of everything and how to get everything onto the page right, and it just literally took forever. It was nonsense. And as it turns out, this format didn't really work for me to have all 12 pages, or all 12 months on 2 pages. It looked cluttered, and I didn't actually have enough room for everybody in February. I tried to do everybody's birthday and like their favorite color, or a color that reminded me of them, but this really was just a birthday page. I didn't have anywhere where I could write future appointments or events or anything like that, so it wasn't super functional, and I changed that up in my other journal for this year, and then for 2019 I changed it up a lot, so you can check that out in my my 2019 setup video. So this is 2 things that I really did not keep track of. I didn't keep track of stuff very well because, I don't know, I just didn't go back to the beginning very much to keep track of things. But I made this like the second week of January, and then I found out that I was pregnant with my son Owen, who is now chilling in his swing. But I found out I was pregnant like the last week of January, so weight loss was off the table. But I did like this spread and included it in my other journal as well. So didn't really use these pages. This is my favorite page of the entire journal. This is conversations that made me laugh from the boys. I changed it to just quotes in my following notebook. You'll see that. I need to stop giving things away. Like, just talk about this journal. Anyway, so, like, for example, this one was Grayson and Henry talking to their dad, Brad, and he said, "How much do you love me?" And Grayson said, 7.5, and Henry said, "That's rude." So, just pretty funny things. When they would shoot the basketball, they would always say Michael Jordan instead of Michael Jordan. But just cute things that they said. And this is definitely my favorite page to look back on. Cleaning list. We made this and then we moved, and we didn't really need it. So now we're moving into January. This was not real calligraphy. I did not know how to do real calligraphy, so this is like the faux calligraphy stuff, which I do think worked out pretty well. Expense tracker. Don't look at it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I didn't really use it very much. But also didn't use this. I tried to use this again in multiple months. Didn't like it. Sleep log. That was dumb. Didn't use that. It's not dumb. If you like it, you can use it. But just didn't really use it. I'm really bad at habit trackers too. So monthly calendar layout. Use this in every month that I have a journal ever. It's really, something that's useful. Gratitude log. Me trying to figure out lettering. Journal that I spelt wrong, by the way. Like, I'm trying to hide this because I have no clue what it says. I'll look at it later. But I didn't notice this, that I spelt that wrong, until super recently when my sister pointed out. She was like, "What's journal?" Yeah, it was embarrassing. Grocery list and meal planning. These spreads, I did like them a lot. Just don't use them anymore. So yeah. Weekly spreads. I did a meal plan all the time with this. Oh, it's another journal page. There was lots of journaling going on because I found out I was pregnant. So anyway, moving into February, I tried watercoloring here. It was okay. Expense tracker that I didn't use. Budget tracker that I didn't use. We use stuff on our phones mostly, so it's kind of silly to put it on paper. For me, it was redundant. Habit trackers. Again, I'm just, I'm so bad at habit trackers. This gratitude log. This was supposed to be like a journal a day page, but I didn't use that very much. And you can see how much I changed in these meal plannings. So, didn't really use this a lot. Weekly spreads. This is a brain dump page, and most of it is about, like, questions to ask my OB at our confirmation visit, which was on the 12th. More journaling. I really loved this. I spent a lot of time drawing it. I'm not very good at drawing, and I am not skilled with this kind of thing, with doodly stuff, but I really liked it. I adapted it. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single test, because I took a pregnancy test and found I was pregnant, and it's all exciting. More weekly spreads. Supposed to be how I'm feeling. I did not keep up with that very well. More journaling, more questions. Oh, my pages are all stuck together. Oh, maybe that's on purpose. No, it's not. Yeah. And as you see, this is more figuring out how bullet journaling works. Okay. All right. So I kind of ripped it. Whatever. I don't know why I took out one of the receipts, but this is the receipt that I had when I bought the pregnancy test, the first one, and then I get this fortune like the same day that said it's time to call your loved ones and share the wonderful news. That was exciting. More receipts. Then I skipped a page. Then March, I pretty much didn't journal at all, so I've got the March cover, which, it's really simple, and I like that, and I'm probably going to use it again in my current journal. Journal page, calendar page, and then we get into April, which I did cactuses and stuff, and I loved April. I just loved the way that it looked with the cactuses and everything. I was supposed to write the crazy dreams I was having, because I was having very crazy dreams being pregnant, but I did not write them down. I did not like this weekly spread at all. It's cute and all, but I just, in reality, did not like the way that it looked. Those are 2 dreams I had. Then we get into May. Habit tracking, did a little bit better, made it all the way to the 15th with my sleep tracker. And so I switched it in this month, it looks like, to only tracking the days that I did not spend money and the days that I drank a sufficient amount of water. So apparently there were only 2 days that I didn't spend money in May. So I'm bad at that. Then we have monthly calendar, and I don't think I like the aesthetic of having different shapes in here. This is the first year or the first month, and I think the only month that I used my colored pencils in my bullet journal. And I did enjoy doing that a lot. It just took a little bit more time because the tip of a colored pencil obviously is smaller than most of my brush pens. So yeah, that took a while. I really didn't end up liking this month. This spread here was the whole reason that I decided to do the bumblebee theme. I saw this spread on Pinterest and liked it, and this is the only spread of the entire month that I actually like. Alright, so here's June, and it was in June that I decided to start recording my videos because I posted pictures of my spreads on Instagram, and a lot of people were asking me, not a lot, it was like 2, let's not get dramatic, but a few people asked me what bullet journaling was, a couple. I mean, I said a few, again, I think it was literally only 2, but they asked me what it was. I enjoyed talking about it, and I enjoyed doing it, and so I thought, why not do something more fun with it and record what I do with it. So that was awkward, but whatever. Anyway, so here's June. I really liked the pineapple theme. Again, I was doing a little bit better with my habit tracking, so I switched it to the days that I didn't spend money and 1 and 1, and I kept this 1 and 1 for a few months after this, but it was like the days that I do one thing productive and one thing fun every day. So I did enjoy that. My monthly layout and some weeklies, and then I made a registry list. Then we get in July. This was the first month that I filmed, and actually probably one of my least favorite months. I was trying to do the most because I was filming it for the first time, and I didn't end up super enjoying this month. I did do really well. Y'all should be really proud of me because I did do really well with tracking. The yellow square are the 1-on-1s, and the green are the no money, which apparently I didn't spend money only on one day. I think what I was doing was literally tracking all of the days that I didn't spend money instead of tracking the days that I didn't spend money on frivolous things. So if I bought groceries, I spent money, so I didn't track it, but we need groceries, and so I can't really not buy them. So I should have just been tracking the days that I didn't go to Sonic, but whatever. I really love this layout. I love the way that it looks, but sleep trackers don't work for me anymore because I'm waking up every couple of hours, or last night every hour, so it doesn't really work for me right now. Here is a cool weekly layout. I do love this. I enjoyed making that. More weeklies. Alright, so questions from my OB. I don't know if there's anything personal in there, so I'll cover that up. Video ideas. At the time, I was considering making a mom and family blog, or vlog or something, channel, but that was a little too ambitious, so I didn't do that. August. I loved August. Seriously loved this theme. I loved the lemons. It was really fresh. I don't usually like yellow, but I really enjoyed it for this month. I enjoyed all of the things that I did. I used watercolors. I used pencils. I doodled, and I enjoyed the way that it looked. It was just, I loved this month. I tried to incorporate doodles in my monthly spread. I enjoyed how open this was with just bracketing in the months instead of just having solid squares, because it gave me a little bit more room to doodle outside of the lines. I enjoyed that. Sleep tracker. At this point in my pregnancy, I was legit sleeping 8 hours or more a night, so it was kind of silly to track that, but I did enjoy this. Video and filming schedules. Clearly I can't stick to any type of schedule, so that didn't work out. Brain dump. I loved this page with the border around of the lemon branches. Literally loved that. I enjoyed the monthly goals too. I got away from it, but I'm bringing it back in 2019. Then we've got my weekly spreads. The coloring didn't really work out here. There is no such thing as orange lemons. I think there might be, I don't know. But I did enjoy making this spread. And then again, I brought the lemon branches back, which I adored. All right, now we're getting into September. This month legit sucked. Like, it was the last month that I was going to fit in this journal, so I wanted to try and, I don't know, try everything that I hadn't tried. So, like, I tried Dutch doors, I did pasting stuff in, it was extra. It took me weeks to prepare to get it ready. And by the time I filmed this, it was 2 weeks into September. And then when I finished filming, I realized I guess I like didn't press record or something on several of the weeks. So I was missing a ton of footage that was required to actually make this video. And then, you know, we were already into September a little bit, and it was the most extra month that I'd ever done. But it was Harry Potter, so I wanted to commit to it fully. It was the last month, so I wanted to try a bunch of stuff. And in the end, it was too crazy for me to even use. Like, I barely even use this. And what you see that I wrote into this was things I was going back and writing in, because I just didn't want to admit that September failed. But anyway, so there were some things in here that I would like to try to incorporate again at some point, but trying to do all of it at once in September was so extra, and I legit just didn't use this. But I really like this cover page, you know, got a little Luna Lovegood action. So, brain dump page, I did Quidditch theme, and then we've got the Elder Wand here for the YouTube schedule that I didn't use. Here I've got watercolor paper pasted in, and watercolor paper does not paste well. So these letters down here, I traced them on my computer, and then I cut them out, and then I pasted them in. I colored them. I traced this. I don't know if you can even see that well, but I traced that, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and pasted it in, and then it took me forever to get the coloring somewhat how I wanted it on this map monthly layout thing. So anyway, there's that. And then for the rest of the month, I did all Dutch Door weeklies. So like all these, this is my whole month. And then I wanted to keep my habit tracker at the bottom so I could see it throughout the entire month. But cutting that much stuff out made this weird down here. I don't know if I just didn't do it right, or if it was just too many Dutch Doors in a row. Or if this journal specifically just doesn't handle them well. I don't know. But I messed up here. I messed up what I was doing. Like, I didn't line it up because I did every single thing instead of skipping one in between, and so I tried to cover it up with whiteout, and that just smeared my ink, and yeah, so I just didn't use that. So that whole Dutch Door thing was useless anyway. But at some point I might use Dutch Doors, you know, try that out. But traced this, then colored it. Then we've got this style of Dutch Doors. Oh no, my son's swing sound turned off, so I'll have to go. And I spelled Gryffindor wrong. Even though I traced it off Pinterest, I still spelt it wrong. I don't know how. Just, we're not going to talk about it. And then this was like the filing divider thing, which I thought was perfectly appropriate for Ravenclaw, you know, just whatever. This is a traced thing that I cut out, meaning I cut out all of those little feathers. Come on, focus. There we go. All of these little feathers, I cut all of those out. So extra. And my sister made fun of me so much for this being extra, and I was like, it's fine. It wasn't fine. I didn't even use it. And then I've got these last two things, and then we just kind of switch into like random things that I did. So that is my first journal, and now we're going to switch to my second journal. Alright, so switching to my second journal. Again, this is a Scribbles That Matter Pro journal. The main reason I switched is because this has a higher paper weight. So this is 100 GSM, whereas the Leuchtturm is 80, I believe. But I will say that the Leuchtturm has coded pages, whereas this just has like regular old pages. Just don't look at this. I got a fountain pen. I was writing with it a lot. But like here, I tried to do a watercolor thing and it bled through onto the back, and that's simply because these are not coded pages. So I did want to show you these things because if I don't do it now, I will forget. But I included these swatch pages of my markers. So I've got my Tombow dual brush pens, which I need to add a few to this, my Crayola super tips, and then I've got my various other pens here, and then a pen test here at the back. So anyway, let's hop on over to the beginning. So I did not use this key very much. I was not good at using these specific icons for whatever I was writing down, but I have since adapted my key for my 2019 journal, and I am using that. So I am enjoying that so far. I did use the index in this. I just enjoyed the way it looked, having it all filled out. I don't even use it. I just enjoy the way it looked. I didn't like this page. I just didn't know what to do on this page, so I did this. But it wasn't my favorite, so. Future log that ended up just being birthdays again and again. I only used this journal for about 3 months before I switched to a new one, and the reason was because I thought that this journal would last 6 months. With my current style of bullet journaling, I think I can fit about 6 months in each journal. So if I continued and finished this out at 6 months, that would have me starting again in October, November, December, January, February, March. So that would have me starting again in April. So I didn't want to start a journal in April and then go 6 months and then start a journal 6 months after that, because I just thought that was silly. I wanted to start in January and July. I thought that would be a good way to do things. So I started a new journal in January so that it would end after June, and then my next journal would begin in July, because it just made more sense to me to do that. So that's why I did it. So here's another quote page. Let's see. Okay, favorite quote from Grayson this year is X. I was asking him if he wanted something for dinner, and he said X, and I thought he said eggs, and so I asked, and he was like, no, X, that means no. So it was really sassy the way he said it, and he was just telling me X because he didn't want it. Henry, he was looking through a Target ad, and he said, I want to see Chewbacca instead of Chewbacca. And then on Halloween night, Henry was handing candy to a little girl, and he said, I thought I told you not to come back here. Oh, these are great. Man, this is definitely my favorite page about the whole thing. Here was when I was at Sam's with Grayson and Henry and Brianna, and Grayson was talking about Owen, and he said to get out of my face, butthead. And I said, my baby didn't say that bad word. And Grayson said, that's not your baby, that's our baby. So anyway, yeah, this is definitely my favorite page of any of my journals. I was supposed to journal about my baby shower and put pictures in here, but I'm bad at going back and doing things. I did use this a little bit, but I didn't actually go in and color it. I might go in and color it now that Christmas is over and I know what I got everybody, but we'll see. I used my weight loss tracker a little bit, but that's where I was before I switched to my new journal, and then I have this copied over into my new journal. This was a savings tracker. Again, I didn't use it because I switched to a new journal. But in December, I did not save any money because I spent it all on everybody. Theme ideas, video ideas. I'm not very good at consistency with my videos. It's hard to be consistent right now with Owen being so little, and he's teething now, and so I just kind of go with whatever I can do during his naps. We have a fall bucket list. I did that. And that's it. So I really should fill in the things that I actually did. October. I just literally couldn't think of anything to do for October. So I just decided to do pumpkins because that was, normal to do pumpkins. My induction. That's when I had my baby. See, this is why I love looking back at my bullet journals and doing my bullet journals, because when I see my induction and all this stuff, it kind of it makes me remember what my life was like at the time that I wrote these things, and it brings back to mind things that I forgot about, and especially with my journaling in it and writing down what I'm feeling at any given time. It's a great memory keeper, and I love doing my bullet journals. Anyway, so back to this. This is my least favorite monthly spread that I've ever done. I hate it so much, and I honestly hate looking at it because aesthetically it sucks, in my opinion. I'm sure there are a lot of people that do monthly setups like this and love it, but for my style, it doesn't fit. And I tried to use washi tape to make it look better, and I just didn't like it. I don't even know what I don't like about it. It's a very standard layout. I just don't like it. Brain dump page. My weekly layouts, I enjoyed them this month. I enjoyed how they looked and whatever. This was after my son was born, so I didn't use it a ton. This was my favorite page of the whole month. I loved the pumpkins along the bottom, and I loved the lettering up at the top. Here is a page about labor and delivery. Oh, that is inappropriate. And this is something I implemented for the first time in this journal, and I sort of liked it, but it was a review page and a planning page for the things that I liked functionally during the month that we just had, and the things I wanted to try during the next month. But this was kind of a time of reinvention because I went into a new journal. Now that I kind of have a better idea about how I like things functioning in my bullet journal, I don't necessarily need this. So if ever I find myself needing to do a revamp of my style of journaling, I will include that again. But I don't think it's quite necessary for every month. So I tried to get a picture of him in his little, why won't you focus? A picture of him in his little Halloween outfit, but he was just so sad. I want it to focus so bad, but it won't. Whatever. He was really sad about it. So we're going into November, which was, I felt like, one of my favorite months that I've ever done. Not that I've done like a boatload, but I did really like it. So I did this sort of floating calendar layout here, and I really, really enjoyed it. My favorite monthly layout that I've done, just this floating calendar with the rectangular boxes instead of square, and having this area for notes at the bottom. I really, really enjoyed that. I tried to keep track of what I ate because I was wanting to see if there was any correlation between what I was eating and Owen's gassiness. Let's see. Got a lot of trail mix. Got a lot of chilies. It's a lot of chilies. Oh, and a lot of Christmas tree cakes. Brain dump page. Weekly layouts. Some of these weekly layouts were super plain, and I just didn't like them very much. I enjoyed that this month I went with a neutral theme rather than like a Thanksgiving-y theme. I enjoyed that. Had my highlight, so this month I changed it to just a review page, like a journaling page, and then a planning page. Didn't really use the planning page much. Oh, him is naked. That's him first. Sorry, I say him instead of his because my nephews do, so that's fine. That's just what I do. His first bath and some of his pictures. And then this was a day that I loved. This was one of my favorite days of 2018. And it was when Owen was like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks old, and we went to the Arboretum, kind of spur of the moment. He would have been 2 weeks old because we went after his 2-week appointment, and it was kind of spur of the moment. We just decided to go because it was such a beautiful day, and we went. And I know this was in October, but I did want to include it even though I had already closed out that month as far as planning is concerned. But that was awesome. here is a list of what I watched. And then this page, I saw it on Pinterest and I really wanted to use it, but I didn't know what I wanted to use it for. So I just put this thing in there, what's stopping you. I've got a lot of things that I want to accomplish. Starting here, obviously, but still in my life, I've got a lot of things I want to accomplish, a lot of big goals that I have for myself and for our family, and there's not really a reason not to do them. So this was just a good reminder that month to just understand that nothing really is stopping me other than myself. So yeah, so I liked that page. I liked what I did with it, and now we're moving on to December. I loved December. December was such a good month as far as bullet journaling was concerned. My husband suggested I did Christmas trees, and I didn't want to get overly Christmassy, and so I did these really simple, just triangle trees, and I loved them. I literally loved this month. Did the floating calendar again. That was working out really great. Got a brain dump. We went camping. Oh my word. So look, we went camping in December with our friends Cody and Kaylin, and we had a great time. However, there were some things that occurred while we were on our way. The days before we left for camping, it was raining. It rained for about 2 days straight, and we, embarked on our journey. And I need to put these pictures in here because I want to include them very badly. But we went, and I guess we missed a turn or something, and then we were rerouted by Siri, and so it turned us off onto this dirt road. And at first, my husband and I, we were leading, and my husband and I were like, this is kind of sketch and kind of weird. And so we kept going, and then like 10 seconds later, we were like, oh crap, this is just mud. Like, this road is strictly mud. So we got stuck in the mud, and so did our friends. They stopped a long time before we did, but I was like, if you stop, we're just going to get stuck. So anyway, so this is, oh wait, there's more to the story. We got stuck. My dad drove an hour and a half, and he came to pull us out of the mud. He pulled our friends out of the mud just fine. They were super easy, but we were way further down the road. So he came and was trying to pull us out, and just long story short, the way things worked out, we fell off the road into a ditch. And here is our little car. I don't know how to make it focus, but oh my word, makeup people do this all the time and it works out great. But focus on the car. It's not going to do it. Anyway, we fell in a ditch, and I need to put these pictures in the bullet journal, but we fell in a ditch, and this thing, it's not going to focus because why would it focus? But this construction equipment thing had to come pull us out. So I've got all these pictures printed out of our camping trip, these lovely sunset pictures, my husband being covered in mud, the baby, all these things that I need to put into this journal. But anyway, so that was December. That was one of the things that happened in December. Moving on to next brain dump page. Oh, don't look at that. That's my expenses. That's supposed to be private. I'm not good at this, but it's fine. Okay, so this is me tracking what I ate, sleeping schedule, and feeding schedule. Did not like that. Didn't work out well. Oh, my son's waking up. I got hurried up. Okay, thankful for 1 line a day. Really love the 1 line a day. Oh, he's waking up mad about it. Hey, you okay? Hi. Oh, I got a smile. Using one line a day. Really liked that. Incorporated it further in my journal, and I'm doing that now. Got Christmas quotes up here. I love that. Hey, need to do my December memories page. More of that. Christmas bucket list. 25 before 25. Christmas countdown. Oh no, I've got too much stuff. And there's my December review. Okay, that's it. Since he's waking up, I'm going to wrap it up. That was my 2018 flip through. Oh no, he's sad. Okay, bye. Have fun. Have a good day. Whatever.